What up, guys? Total Control 871, a very sleepy Total Control 871. I am tired and I don't feel like doing this video, but I know that if I don't do it now, I might not be able to find it again. This is a video on YouTube entitled How Not to Drive Your Car. I believe the YouTube channel is Caught on Camera, something like that. Anyway, I want to show you guys something very in particular that speaks directly to the lane control saga, but from the police and motorists' point of view. Let's vet out our. We've heard from Egg Harbor Township, Hamilton Township. We've definitely heard from Detective Death Fuel, who was the most recent. Now he says that I would have been rear-ended. Let's take a closer look at this scenario, shall we? I'm tired, so you're gonna have to forgive me. Alright, this is just a little preview I want to show you of something. You're looking at a front-end loader. I honestly have no idea. We see our license plates. This entire video compilation, I think it's of all, well, I don't want to say it like that, but of like foreign drivers. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure American drivers are every bit as fucked up. The point that I'm making, showing you that little tidbit, is that front-end loader, slower moving vehicle, they take to the road, nobody loses their shit. Even when there is calamity on the road, nobody loses their shit the way they do for a cyclist. However, I'm gonna have to jump all the way down here. You're gonna have to forgive me. Matter of fact, hold on just a second while I queue up the exact time index. Okay, I found it. Like I say, it's like a 10-minute compilation of just shit driving, accidents, all kinds of fender benders. Each accident, it's really only like 10 seconds or less, so there's not a lot of lead up to give you a good context of what's going on. But what I'm about to show you, and I think you'll know which specific accident or near accident or whatever that I'm speaking of. We heard it from our police, we heard it from Detective Death Fuel, and I want you to pay close attention. That isn't it. Here we go. Emergency braking. The old gray mare. There's our old gray mare. She ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Okay. Number one. Judge Taylor, that is emergency braking. Seeing as how there seems to be some confusion and you don't know how to recognize emergency braking when you see it. Anyway, so we see our SUV right here, emergency braking. The driver in back, come on, goddammit. It's like, holy fucking shit. We've got, what is this thing? It's got 4 wheels. It doesn't appear to be plated. Let me see. I think, yeah, it's another foreign country from the license plate. So I can't speak to their laws, that's for sure. But it's the physics of the matter that we're talking about. This driver, were this scenario to play out here in America, the first thing that this driver isn't doing is they're in the left lane, not the right. From the direction of traffic, we see that this is indeed a right side drive country like here in America. So that isn't the problem. However, and if it is a right side drive, well then this slower moving vehicle definitely needs to be all the way to the right. Now, you guys have heard me say on a number of occasions that it is not speed that dictates safety, but rather predictability. I guess his foot might not be on the brake, so I can't really tell you if this thing actually has brake lights. It does not appear to have turn signals. This thing is most likely, I'm going to go ahead and say it, it's most likely rated for farm use only, for on private property, like a ride-on tractor. I'm going to back it up a little bit. And what I want you guys to do, okay, I want you guys to pay very close attention to the speed after our SUV in front emergency brakes and swerves away. They've got just enough time to hit their turn signal and swerve out of the way, because we can kind of see whatever was in front of the SUV. They darted out the way, and then the SUV brakes. And this is what Detective Deathfuel and others are arguing that I am either causing or have the potential of causing on the road. This simply isn't true, and I'm going to show you why. Let's see, I'm going to back it up. What I want you to do is pay very, very close attention to how slowly the perforated lines, see how fast the perforated lines are moving? And then it's almost down to a standstill. That tractor this thing, it is moving, I'm gonna say, what? It has to be like 5 miles an hour. Look at that. So, when I link this whole, go to 610. You can watch the whole thing, but go to 610 in the time index, and that'll take you straight to it, where you can see better yourself. A learned cyclist. They are. I hope I'm not covering, because I think I have discovered where the microphone is on this thing, so that I'm not muffling the mic. No cyclist can go the speed of a car, in case you were wondering. The professionals in our Tour de France and Grand Tours, their overall speed, it's about 24, 25 miles an hour. For, traversing like 100 or almost 200 miles. I'm sorry, I am tired, but I really wanted to get this done because I found this video. It's not the first time I've seen it. I found this video a couple of years ago, and at the beginning of the whole lane control saga thing, and I don't know if I really had the YouTube channel up and running then, but here it is. I found it again, and I knew that if I didn't do this video tonight, that it'll probably disappear back into, back into YouTube, wherever it goes. And I just simply wanted to point out to you the difference. How can I say this? Well, that vehicle was traffic furniture, smack dab in the middle of the road. You put it like this: call up just about any of my videos. I'll link. I will link a video, a rear angle video down in our description, showing the particular road in question, our Tilton Road. You know, I have traversed from, because the whole Route 40 Tilton Road issue, because that's where our lane control saga case is centering around. I had our shoulder dissipates. You know, if you're exiting off of Tilton Road, excuse me, off of Route 40 onto Tilton Road, then the last shoulder you're ever going to get is going to be right there at the Kerbeck dealership, okay? Kerbeck dealership. And once that shoulder is gone, again, a shoulder per New Jersey State Supreme Court, you have no special right to, should not even be in. Once it's gone, it's gone. Like, put it like this: I've ridden from there. Say if I'm going from my mailbox, I've ridden from my mailbox all the way down to the Northfield McDonald's. Done that a number of times, and I utilized lane control the entire way. And I said to myself, because I argue my own case, I argue against my own case to make sure that I am on solid ground here. And I say to myself, wow, that actually is kind of a distance there to be occupying lane control. And when I go to review the footage for that, I never grow a tail of cars, of backed up traffic, because we can see, I'll show you guys again, we can see look at this. Nothing's in front of this guy, which means he has, you know, Farmer John here. He's got a huge queue of cars, of traffic. I hope I'm not muffling this damn microphone. He's got a huge queue of vehicles behind him. And I question myself. I say, well, why is it that I don't have these cars for the distance that I'm going? Because it's pretty obvious when I'm traversing the jug handles, or, you know, moving across in front of a shopping complex or something like that, that's, you know, hardly any distance at all. But to go from Kerbeck dealership down to Northfield McDonald's, what is that? I'll have to measure it the next time on the Garmin. It might be, what, 1.5 miles, I'll say. Maybe 2 miles. And how is it that I never grow a tail? It's all in the civil engineering. You see, that's all commercial district number 1. And there's no shoulder whatsoever. And the lanes are very narrow. Those lanes, I don't even think they're 11 feet wide. They're definitely 10 feet wide. It's very narrow. Inundated with drainage grates and all kinds of shit that accumulates in the gutter and around the drainage grates. And there are drainage grates that are indeed damaged. Okay. So, obviously, hugging the curb is not an option. So I question myself, well, why is it that I never grow this tail? So as I begin thinking and putting my mind to it, it's the civil engineering. You really got to hand it to the civil engineers. They really do think this shit out, man. It is a commercial district. All those businesses, their parking is either in front or on the side of their business. Almost all of them. Tilton Road in both directions is flanked by parking lots of the businesses. You follow? Okay. And because there is no shoulder, No slow down lane, because sometimes there'll be like an auxiliary lane to decelerate and turn into. There is none of that whatsoever. So how do we make sure that there is not endless rear ends? Because in our video here, oh my god, it's just rear end after fucking rear end in this video. But how do we make sure traffic isn't constantly, because well, from Route 40, it's 50 miles an hour, and Tilton, well, they decreased the speed by 5 miles an hour down to 45. Okay, well, that helps a little bit, but still, how do we make sure that traffic isn't up each other's ass, whether it's a bicycle or motor traffic? Stoplights. It dawned on me one day there are an inordinate amount of stoplights. After we see our Kerbeck dealership, we've got stoplights that control the entrance and egress of Shore Mall. And immediately after that stoplight, when you bleed off into Tilton Road, guess what? There's another stoplight only 200 feet further down. And then when you go under the underpass up to Fire Road, another stoplight. And from there on, basically it's a stoplight per block. And I begin thinking about this. The side street, the cross streets of Tilton Road, there is not enough traffic. In other words, a stop sign, you would think, would have sufficed. Why not just have a stop sign at these roads that intersect with Tilton Road rather than all these stoplights, just stoplight after stoplight? Well, if you didn't have the stoplights, traffic would be up each other's ass non-stop. And that's what the stoplights do, and that's what keeps the tail from growing. And that's what it does, so traffic never really gets the chance to get up to speed, which means that there's never too much traffic in back of you, which means that you can safely turn into the parking lots, and there's ample opportunity for you to egress, to exit the parking lots. You gotta give it to the civil engineers. Somebody sat down and had to think this shit up, so that's what they did. And that's why I can go from Kerbeck all the way down to Northfield. And in the rear view footage, there's like 2 or 3 cars that might have to change lanes, and, then traffic behind me gets stopped by a red light, which creates a break in a partition, so we never see traffic congested to my left because of all the traffic behind me having to merge into one lane. This never occurs. So traffic is never impeded. There is no emergency braking. I don't grow a massive queue of cars behind me. That's why lane control is possible on Tilton Road. So there you go, guys. Check out the video. What did I say? 610, and dissect that particular thing. Dude was going, because you can see the partition, the dotted line, the white line. That's how you can tell how incredibly slow he was going. And by all means, like I say, I'll link it down below. Some rear view camera angle of Tilton Road. I don't have any footage for going all the way from Kerbeck down to Northfield, but I got some going from the mailbox to the bike shop. I'll link that down below. It's basically the same thing, because that's like basically the bike shop is the halfway mark, basically. So just like I say, the traffic never grows behind me. I never grow a massive tail. It is indeed practical. So there you go, guys. That old dude in that tractor cart, 4 wheels, motor vehicle. Although it wasn't, I don't think it was rated for the road. I'm not entirely sure about, like our front end loaders. I've seen massive construction vehicles. Sometimes they're plated, sometimes they're not. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend to tell you, you know, I don't know. How long can a front end loader, like we saw in our first bit, how long can they occupy the road? I'd be curious as to know if a front end loader got on Route 40 in Atlantic City, heading west, how long could it ride down Route 40, occupying a lane, going no faster than a bicycle, maybe even slower than a bicycle? And how long could it do that before it attracted the attention of law enforcement? Interesting to know. All right, guys, but yeah, so we see there's a vast difference there. In case I haven't said it, I ride my bicycle fast enough to give drivers the opportunity to react without having to emergency brake. That's the difference. Our tractor golf cart, that thing couldn't have been going more than 5 miles an hour, maybe even slower. That thing was moving at the pace of a brisk walk. Okay, it was going really slow. So I get where Detective Death Fuel and Egg Harbor Township Police, and well, Egg Harbor Township Police, they have an axe to grind. They have a personal vendetta. So, but the other police departments, I kind of get what they're saying. They're just simply wrong. If it were truly detriment to my well-being, I would not be doing it. Example, I don't use lane control in heavy fog. I don't use lane control when crossing an arced bridge. I'm a big advocate and tell drivers to be very aware. Don't be distracted. Pay the fuck attention, okay? No amount of alert driving can give a driver x-ray vision. They can't see through the hump of a bridge to know that you've crested and that you're on your way down. They could fly up and rear end you. It's why I don't use lane control on bridges. So there's a time to use it and a time not to use it. Again, what time have I got here? 22. At the risk of invoking the ire of the cycling community, in prosecution's first, in their rebuttal to my appeal of the lane control saga and Superior Court, they end their statement of facts thing by saying that I should advocate for law change, and that isn't accurate at all because the laws they provide safety for cyclists. If it is the police, prosecution, they should be the one to maybe lobby whomever to. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. How do I know? You know, if it was a cop watching some either kid or a mom or a dad riding a bicycle down the road, they don't know if they are just your license is suspended. Basically, I'm trying to say the difference is, are they just somebody that hauled out their teenage kid's bike from Walmart and threw it onto the street and jumped on it and went riding because of whatever personal issue they got going on in their life, and they're not, and they end up becoming traffic furniture, like our golf cart tractor. You got out there in the middle of what you guys are always so fond of saying, in the middle of a highway. You can call it whatever you want to. As long as the road is not restricted, then I'm allowed to be on it. So you can call it a highway, byway, expressway, whatever way. If it's not restricted, then I'm allowed to be on it. It's just that simple. But, if these unexperienced, if these novice, and I say that because I understand I'm not an expert. Well, I am a vehicular cycling expert, but I'm not like a professional Peloton racer kind of guy. That's what I'm trying to say. Um, they get out there and they want to try their hand at it. I see this guy, this big guy on the bike. He's out there doing it. I'm gonna get out there doing it too. And there's a world of difference between the Black Rider or you know what? Hi, Black Rider, I love you, baby, but we're not going to use you in this one. There's a world of difference between a bicycle shop, a certified bicycle shop's bike, a $400 or $500 bicycle. Because I want you guys to understand that you don't need a bicycle as expensive as mine to get a decent bicycle that can facilitate commuting needs. So there's a world of difference between a $400 and $500 bicycle from a certified bike shop and the $80 tinfoil that Walmart cranks out like hotcakes. Okay, world of difference. Bike Man for You, he did a video cruiser, $300 cruiser versus Walmart cruiser, cracks open bottom bracket. Put it like this: the grease that the factory for the Walmart cruiser, it's like taking a single tube of toothpaste and giving it to an entire high school and expect every last single student there to brush their teeth with one tube of toothpaste. That's just how the grease is used in the factories that crank out Walmart bikes. Like just little dabs. They just the bottom bracket, dab, dab, next one, dab, dab. The littlest bit. He's saying that because when he opens up these Walmart bikes, they're bone dry. Just metal on metal, bone dry. And it's why they're part of the reason why they're so difficult to ride. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Where am I at here? 27. Check out the video and judge for yourself. Like I say, I am by no means the fastest cyclist whatsoever. There are plenty of cyclists faster than me. True. To give myself my own credit and my own props, I am a lot faster than guys my size. Thanks to myself, my own natural talent, and thanks to the Black Rider. It is indeed a melding of man and machine, and we are together. Just check it out. What Detective Death Fuel and others are arguing, it is not valid. Not when you have the correct equipment, not when you have the correct knowledge, and not when you have the correct amount of experience to get on the road and to do it. So there you go. Where are we at? I'll show it to you one last time before we go. One last time before we go. Total Control 871.